welcome back to another how-to video with the Uxbridge Public Library. Today we are going to be teaching you how to make paper mache. We'll be teaching you how to make 3 different things, so keep your eyes open and continue to watch this video for all 3 crafts. First, you will need some form of basin, some newspaper, a large bowl, some salt, some white glue, measuring cups, 1 cup, half a cup, and half teaspoon, 1 small bowl, some balloons, some string, and that's it. First, you're going to take your newspaper and a pair of scissors, and you're going to cut down vertically to make strips of newspaper. You can cut them any size, but we suggest usually using small strips and larger strips about 1 inch wide. Now to make the glue mixture, we're going to take our large bowl, some warm water, the white glue, first we're going to start off with half a cup of warm water in the bowl. Then we're going to take 1 full cup of white glue and pour that into the bowl as well. I'm going to take a spoon just to get every little bit out of the cup. And then I'm going to start mixing that together until it becomes a creamy consistency. Then we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Once you've mixed that together, you're good to go. Now to start off, we're going to lay down a piece of newspaper so that we can catch all of the glue that falls off. We're going to take our small bowl and 1 balloon and blow it up. We want to make sure this is around our head size because we're going to be making both a bowl and a mask out of this. Now we're going to take our mixture, and we're going to take a piece of newspaper and multiple that we've cut up, and we're going to quickly dip it in the glue. Once I've covered both sides, I'm going to take my 2 forefingers and squeeze off all of the glue and place it onto the balloon. We're going to continue this process until we get about 2 to 4 layers. Once this is done, to make sure that it fully dries without a ring on the bottom from the bowl, I'm going to take some string, about 3 feet length, and tie it around the tip of the balloon. From here, I'm going to remove it from the bowl and hang it so that it has equal portions to dry. I also want to make sure that I have a newspaper underneath it to catch any excess glue that may drip off. So it's been about 24 hours. This may also take up to 48 hours depending on how wet your glue was. Now I'm going to cut the balloon and then cut the entire sphere in half. I'm going to remove all of the leftover bits of the balloon that are inside of the sphere, and now I have a portion for both my mask and my bowl. Our first version of this is going to be a mask. From here, we're going to make 2 circles where our eyes should be. Make them dark enough to see, and then we will cut them out. I'm going to take the sharp end of my scissors and try and puncture a hole safely in where the eye is. Children should get help from their parents or guardians when doing this task. With this process, you have full creativity, so you can make whatever animal you desire. Once I'm done cutting out the eye holes, I'm going to take my extra pieces of newspaper and start making appendages for my mask. I'm going to be making a paper tiger, so I'm going to start making a mouth and then ears. Here I'm making a bottom lip to go with the jowls and the nose. Now I'm going to fold paper like so to make an ear shape. I'm going to repeat this process twice. Once I'm done that, I'm going to fix the edges of my mask to make sure it's all spherical. Then I'm going to take my white tape and just start taping down where I think the mouth should go. I'll continue this process and make sure that all of the pieces are secured before I start putting paper mache on top of it. Now I'm going to continue to tape down the eyebrows, and then you're set. Now I'm going to make sure this thing is fully secure with a lot of tape, and then I'm going to tape down the ears. Then I'm also going to take some extra pieces of newspaper and start making some fluffs to go on the side of the mouth. Once you're done, you can take your glue mixture, take your strips of newspaper, and start plastering it right onto the surface of the mask. You're going to want to make sure that you cover every single piece of tape so that only newspaper is showing. To move on to the second half of the sphere, we're going to make a bowl. We're going to take our scissors, and for me, I wanted to do a kind of wave pattern, so I started cutting out these waves all throughout the bowl's circumference. From here, I'm going to flip over the bowl and then start making a tube of newspaper. Then I'm going to twist the newspaper to make sure I get a nice coil. And then I'm going to bring the two ends together so that I have a ring that I can place on the bottom. Then I'm going to take my tape again, wrap the coil, and then start putting down tape right onto the bowl to make sure that I have a base for my bowl. Once I'm done that and I think it's secure, I'm going to take my Paper Mache mixture and start plastering it right onto the bowl's edge. Again, you want to continue this process until you get a couple layers through and you cover all of the tape. While you're letting that dry, we're also going to start our next project, which is going to be a Paper Mache ice cream piñata. From here, we're going to repeat the process of trying to remove the balloon from the inside of our Paper Mache mold. Once we've removed that, we're going to keep these slits on the top very short, about 2 inches, and cut them in a star pattern. And from here we can stuff our piñata. For us, we're just going to be adding confetti, but you can add whatever you like, candy or anything inside for prizes. Once you're done that, you're going to tape over the top and make sure that it's completely taped before attaching the base of the cone. Here I've just taken some pieces of Bristol board, wrapped it into a cone form, and taped it up. The next part will be taking some form of streamer or even paper and cutting them into strips. Here we're just making small notches into our streamer so that we'll have something to flake off, like on a piñata. We're going to start at the base and glue and start coiling up our streamer just so that it starts making a pattern. You want them to layer over each other. Once you have coiled the streamer up most of the cone, we're going to attach the cone to the top of the ice cream. Here you can also put prizes inside of the cone. Here we're just going to attach it with some tape, and this should make sure that it's slightly secured so that kids can actually still break into the piñata. Once the cone is attached to the ice cream part, we're going to take our scissors again, take the sharp end, and very carefully puncture 2 holes for a string to attach. From here we're going to take our string and our skewer, and we're going to wrap the string around the skewer and attempt to push it through to obtain the string. Once it's through, you can tie a knot, cut off the excess, and take your string with you. Here to continue with the ice cream, we're going to take our pink streamer and cut it in little notches, and then start wrapping it around the base. We continue this process until we've wrapped the entire sphere. Once you've reached the top, you're going to continue that spiral, cut a little bit of the excess, and then glue right over top of the string. There you have it. Your ice cream cone is done. Now to continue with our tiger mask, we're going to take our paint and start painting over the whole thing and making sure that it's blocked out in white so that we don't see any newspaper coming through. From here, we're going to also blot out some of the orange pieces and continue to paint all over our tiger. There you have it. Once you're done painting, you have a finished mask. It's pretty cool. You can use the eye holes as pupils and paint the entire thing with cool patterns. We've also painted our bowl in really summery colors, and it's really interesting that these both came from two halves of one balloon. To make sure we can wear our mask, we're going to take a hole puncher, some string, and just punch 2 holes into the side of our mask. Here we're going to go deep enough that it's going to not strain the string when we place it on and won't rip through. We're going to take just enough string, tie a knot quickly, and then measure out how much we need to make sure that it stays right on our head. And there you have it, a wearable mask. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and if you like more videos like this, please come back to the Uxbridge Public Library's YouTube channel and watch more how-to videos.